we're going to go back to your browser and we're going to import Army Audio. That should have been already on your hard drive because we got it off either the lab data from your computer, or if your computer didn't have it, we passed around the jump drive and it said Army Audio. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go File, Import, Files, and we're going to find your Army Audio file. And it's okay if it's in this project because we're going to put it on a new sequence that you can have, and you don't have to have it affect your summer scholars. So you're going to find your Army Audio. It's a very small file, and say Choose, and it'll come in saying Army Audio. So I'm going to go up to File, New Sequence, and I'm going to call it Army Audio. Army Audio. And sequence 1, I'm going to call it Summer Scholars. Summer Scholars. So we're going to go, again, remember we have our browser selected. We're going to go File, Import, Files, and we're going to bring in Army Audio. And then we're going to say Army Audio 1, and we're going to import it to the timeline. So you can drag and drop if you want. That's fine. You can just drag and drop from the browser to the timeline. I'm going to turn on my Show Toggle Clip Overlays, that little mountain range thing, so I can see the pink line. Now, I don't know about you, but when I scroll through here, I do not see any audio waveforms. You know why? Because what happened is the person who recorded this, and I still remember who did it, he was in meteorology. He had the audio on for the first gunshot, then he turned his mics off. God only knows why, because you need that nat sound. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to find audio when it's so small you can't hear it, how to boost it, and how to steal audio from one clip and put it to another clip. Okay? So you'll notice we have the Show Toggle Clip Overlays on. This little play button down here, remember we can click on that and say Show Audio Waveforms. Down here that looks like a play button on a VCR or DVD player. Show Audio Waveforms, bottom left of your timeline. Still don't see any audio waveforms. If I make this rectangle or track height bigger, you can see that is the one blip of audio. So again, play button, looks like a play button on a DVD player, Show Audio Waveforms. Need to make sure it's checked. Turn on our Show Toggle Clip Overlays and click on the track height, which are those bigger rectangles. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to listen to it and we're going to watch. So that's pretty low, right? It's down around between 42 and 30, which would be okay if I was doing a voiceover. But let's raise it. I'm going to raise it all the way up and I'm going to check it and see how high it gets. 24. That would be okay if I was using it for, you know, not my main audio sound. So let's boost it all the way up so I can hear it easier. So let's just take that pink line and drag it all the way up to the top. Alright, now what we're going to do is you'll notice you have a razor blade. So I'm going to do this fairly quickly and then I'll go back and do it slower. So that way if you get it quickly you can go back and do it yourself. What we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut up the clip, okay? You cannot use this first clip, but we're going to cut it up because we need to take the audio. So let's cut after he does his first gunshot, and I'm going to hit the razor blade. So you can press B for blade, or you can go get your razor blade in your tool palette. If you do not see your tool palette, remember that's a window. So that means you can go up to your window menu and hit Tools. And then you can get B for blade or hit on razor blade. Just click back on Final Cut Pro, yeah. Now they'll be there. So the reason you see that red bow tie is that means there is no break in the time code. So if I pull this away now with my arrow, you're going to see now those red bow ties disappear because now there is a break in the time code. So what I want you to do is with this razor blade, I want you to go and cut up this video after he shoots. So we're going to use our blade to cut out any wobble in the camera, and we're going to cut it after each shot. So I'm going to watch it. Camera doesn't move. I see a bullet. I saw the bullet come out, so I'm going to press B for blade, and I'm going to hit it right there, and it cuts my audio and my video. I'm going to hit spacebar. Okay, they're moving the camera, so I'm going to hit spacebar again to stop it because the camera just stopped moving. So I'm going to hit B for blade. Okay, so do you see here, if you look up here, I watched it. You're going to look here for the bullet. It came out. he's moving the camera, he's moving the camera, he's moving the camera, and then he stopped the camera. So here I hit B for blade. Oh, no, right here is where I should stop it. So I cut here because the camera stopped moving. Because I can edit in and out points to get rid of camera shake. I can use the blade tool on the timeline to get rid of camera shake. So I know that these two clips right up here, if you look here, are the ones that where the camera is moving. So I can hit A for arrow, and I can select both of these clips by drawing an imaginary box, or hitting the Shift key and selecting both clips and deleting it, because I don't want the camera movement. So again, I'm going to hit spacebar. Camera's not moving, and bullet. Spacebar to stop it, B for blade, and I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to save it because I made some changes, and I'm going to keep doing this. So if you need to keep looking up here, you can. If you need to move on and start cutting the rest of it up by yourself, you can. Spacebar, camera's not moving, bullet came out, I'm going to cut it. Spacebar, camera's not moving, so I don't need to cut it out. Blade, or spacebar, B for blade, cut it. Spacebar, I'm not really going to use probably this one because... Alright, so he was done zooming, so I'm going to hit B for blade to cut it. A for arrow, select it, delete. B for blade, so I have the blade ready. Spacebar. He shot a bullet, stop it, cut it. He's zooming in on bullets. I don't really want to use that one. I'd rather see it where he's shooting. So he's trying to make it by cutting out the action easier for no jump cut. So he was still moving probably on that one, so I don't know if I'll cut it. See, he's still moving the camera, stops the camera right when he shoots it. So I probably won't use that clip, so I'll move on. Camera's done moving, so I'll hit B for blade, A for arrow, select the clip, delete it. B for blade, so I'm ready to cut, spacebar to play. He shot it, I'm going to cut it. Spacebar. Camera's moving, so I'm not going to use that shot, it's not going to look good. Moving, moving, moving. Still moving, spacebar to stop it, blade, A for arrow, or you can go to the tool palette and select your arrow, delete key on the keyboard, B for blade, so I'm ready to cut, spacebar. Dang it, he zoomed again. You can just trim it, but I'm going to B for blade since that's what we're going with tutorial-wise. A for arrow, cut it. B for blade, so I'm ready to cut, spacebar to play. He keeps frickin' zooming. Alright, stop. I'm going to cut it because I don't want that in there. A for arrow. He's just helping me be repetitive. B for blade. Shoots it, stops it. With the spacebar, cut it. So I want you to go through and cut out all the extra camera movement and cut it after every shot. Give it a second for the bullet to disappear and let go. Spacebar to keep going. He readjusted. I'm going to press B for blade, A for arrow. Select the clip I need to cut because of the movement. Delete key, B for blade, so I'm ready to cut. Spacebar to play. Spacebar to stop it. B for blade to cut it. Spacebar to go. Camera's moving. Camera's steady. Stop it. B for blade, A for arrow. Select the clip with the movement. Delete key, B for blade, so I'm ready to cut. Spacebar. Spacebar to stop it because he's done shooting. Bullet's gone. Spacebar. Shot again. Cut it. Spacebar. Stopped again. Cut it. A for arrow. Delete the bottom. Out of that, I was able to get 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first one doesn't count because it's the regular clip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I was able to get 12 clips out of that. So what I'm going to have you do is you are going to give me 4 different clips. Now they cannot be the same clip back to back. So I can't do close-up shot of him, wide shot of him, this shot of him. Now I'm not looking for jump cuts. I just want you to put them in an order so I know that they're not the same ones back to back and things like that. So I'm going to go with, I want them to be different shots. So I'm going to take this big clip of him, that's a wide shot, and I'm going to move it down here and start building what I'm going to do. This one's a little bit closer. I'm going to click, hold, drag it over here, and start building what I'm going to do. So we need 4 shots. Now they don't have audio, but we're going to get audio. So I don't want 2 close-ups back to back, so if you want to give me 1 close-up at the beginning, a wide shot, a medium shot, and a close-up, I'll take that. Now they are going to be jump cuts because they are not, you know, he's in different locations and positions, but I just want it in this order so that way it's not the same shot back to back. So again, you did all that. I repeated it like 12 or 13 times, so hopefully that helped doing it that much. So again, you're just clicking, holding, and dragging. So I want like a close-up, a medium shot, or a wide shot, and then a close-up at the end. So close-ups on the front, close-ups on the outside, and then if you want to do medium to wide or wide to medium, I do not care. So 4 little clippies. Do not delete the first clip because that's the one with the audio. However, I don't need any more of these clips, so I'm going to delete the ones I don't need. And I'm going to drag these closer towards my Army audio. And I'm going to save it. Command S. And then I'm going to zoom in. Command plus or the zoom like we showed earlier on the bottom. Dragging between these little hash marks. So 4 clips. Close-up, wide, medium, close-up. Or close-up, medium, wide, close-up. All I want you to do is use it to like cut out any camera movement. And then I want you to, after the camera's done moving or zooming, cut it. Then you're going to watch to see him shoot the bullet. After the bullet disappears, space bar to stop it. Then click with your blade tool. And then you're going to cut it after the bullet disappears, and then you're going to move on and do the same thing. So it's kind of helping you get rid of camera movement. So if you know that I just need 4 clips, if you want to find a close-up and a close-up, 2 different close-ups, and then a wide and a medium. So I want those in that order, please. Close-up, wide or medium, and then close-up. And this is really how we do music videos. You know, have you ever seen like behind the scenes or behind the music video? They often have the music playing in the background and the person's lip syncing it, right? Well, then they take the actual track that's recorded in the studio and they sync it up with the video they shot of the music video. So this concept can be used to apply like in that regard. All right, so everybody have 5 clips, the one with the audio, 4 other clips. Remember, we can click, hold, drag, and drop, and move them around. What I want you to do, if you already have these, I want you to select all these clips using the Shift key or the drag the imaginary square method, whichever one you want. And we're going to go up to Modify Link or Command L as in link. And now they still look like they're linked, but they're not. If we click off of it, I can then highlight it all and then hit the delete key. We do not need this audio from those clips because he gave us no audio. Okay? So again, the way I did that was I had all my 4 clips. I'm going to select it, click, hold, and drag, select them all. I'm going to go up to Modify, Link, or Command L. So now they're unlinked, meaning I can have the audio selected or the video selected. Then I'm going to highlight the audio and hit the delete key, and I'm going to save it because I made a change. So again, you're just going to, if you want to cut up the whole thing because it helps you practice it, I just did it because I knew if I did it 13 times, it might be easier if you saw it like 13 times and listened to it like 13 times. But I only really need from you is 2 close-ups. One as the first clip, one as the last clip. Then a medium and a wide shot. So if you want to save some time so we can get the tutorial going a little faster, find a close-up, cut out the camera shake, put it on the timeline, or move it by itself, then find a wide shot, adjust it with the, cutting out the movement or the zoom with the blade tool, cutting after it's done moving or zooming. All right, so without you talking to me, I don't really know how you're doing. I see some of you still moving stuff around, so I'm assuming that means you guys still need to move some stuff around. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to do this, but then I will come back and I'll do it again. So you do not need to copy, but I'm going to copy this and paste it So that way when they're done with their stuff, I can show them how to do this again. But those of you who are already done, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to move on, and then I'm going to come back and help them when they're ready, okay? So if you already have this and you deleted all the audio, what I want you to do is, remember, you highlight it, Command L, then highlight the audio, delete key. We're going to have to unlink this audio, right? Because we need to steal it. So Command L, we're going to select it, and we're going to hit Command L. Then I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it, and it's going to paste it where my playhead is. Now, it is going to paste it where my playhead is, but what I want to do is, when I move my playhead, you'll see I'm clicking and dragging it, and I'm looking in my canvas. I'm looking to see when his bullet comes out of the gun, and it looks like I picked one where he didn't have one. So let me take this one. Let me see. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste this over here. And I'm going to move it. There is something called snapping. If you notice when you look up here for a second, you'll see that your clip snaps to the playhead, it snaps to the in or the out point of a clip. It's called snapping. It helps us so that way we don't have a split second of black. Now, when I'm dragging my playhead, you'll see it's going to snap to the beginning and then it's going to snap to the end. And I can't really see where the bullet is. You can turn snapping off by coming up to the top right of your timeline, or you can hit the letter N, and you'll see now that button is not greening. When it's not green, it means that snapping is off, and I can drag it, and it will not jump my playhead to that location. I turn snapping off if I need to do minor movements like this to find the bullet or other types of editing, but then I turn it back on so I don't have any black frames in between my video. So if you look up here, if you're at the point where I am, I'm going to move my playhead, and if you're still editing and getting here, that's fine. I'll do it again. I'm going to move my playhead until I see that bullet come out. And I can see that bullet is right here. I want the clip selected because I'm going to add a marker to it, like we talked about before when we did the B-roll. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it. And when I see it, I can also use my left and my right arrow. I'm going to go left arrow, left arrow, left arrow. And now I'm going to go right arrow, right arrow, right arrow. It goes one frame at a time. And I see the bullet is right there. So that means that's probably where I need to put my audio waveform, because we're going to hear it coming out of the gun. If I hit the letter M, now I have a marker there. If I move my playhead to where my audio waveform is and install a letter M, now all I have to do is line up these two markers, and you'll see they're not lining up because I don't have snapping on. So if I let go and I hit the letter N as in snapping, no snapping, I can now click and hold and it's going to snap to the marker. Now when I watch this, we can see if I lined up the audio right. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to do that again. So if you're still moving your clips around, remember we just need a close-up, a wide, and a medium, and a close-up. So now I'm going to turn snapping back off because I'm going to be dragging my playhead around to see where the bullet is. When I see the bullet come out, I'm going to then use my left arrow key to get it back in the chamber. Right arrow key to get it coming out of the chamber. So left arrow, it's not there. One right arrow, you can see it's starting to move and be blurry. So I'm going to select the clip, hit the marker, M for marker. I hit it, there it goes. I'm going to then copy this, edit, copy, or when I select it, I can say Command C, Command V, turn snapping back on, top right of your timeline, the button that is not green, or the letter N. The letter N turns it on and off. Now it'll snap to my marker, and I can check it. Perfect. Let me go back. I don't think that was perfect. Not in my mind. It was good. And then now I'm going to select this. Oh, it looks like I have another one in here. So I can say, now I'm going to move my arrow back. I shouldn't have two clips, so I'm just going to shorten this clip. And move this one closer. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to select this clip. So if you're at this point now, you can watch this point, and it might help you, and I'll go back and do it again. So I'm going to... You could just use your arrows. You don't have to turn the snapping on and off. You could just use your right and left arrow. So I'm hitting the right arrow on my keypad. There's the bullet coming out. I press the left button to go back to make sure it's one frame, one right button, right arrow, excuse me. Then I'm going to add a marker. I'm going to copy the audio, Command C after I select it, Command V to paste, and I'm going to line up my markers. Then I'm going to hit spacebar. I think that was a little off. No, looks good. And I'm going to save it. So I'm going to do that again over here. So I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to do it again, but if you understand it, you can go ahead and let it ride. Alright, so I'm going to delete these. Delete my markers. Yes, any questions? No? To delete audio, you just have to actually hit the delete key. Select it and hit the delete key. Or a marker. Do you mean marker or audio? Okay, so to unlink them. So select the video and go up to modify link, and it should unlink them. So I'm deleting my markers. I'm selecting my clip that has the marker, lining my playhead over the marker, hitting M, and hitting the delete key. Same thing with my audio. Alright, so what we have here, remember, is we unlinked it. Highlight all your clips with your audio and go up to modify link, and it's going to unlink it. It's going to look like it's still linked because they're still selected. Then you're going to click off of it and you're going to highlight the audio and delete it. So you should have audio, no audio with these clips right now, okay? So you need to delete the audio from these clips. The ones that we're going to add the audio to. So go up and now click on it. Click on the clip. Go up to modify link. Or you can just hit Command L if your mouse is ghetto. And then now click off of the audio and the video. Now click back on just the audio. Now hit the delete key and delete key. And do that to the same thing. Alright, so we're going to unlink it. Yes, you can do them both. I would. Saves time. Great idea. Alright, so this is where you should be. 4 clips. No audio. So if you have questions, just ask me, because I want you at least at this point, because this is where I would like to be next class. And then we're going to go File, New Sequence, and we're going to call it Army Audio. How do I open this new sequence? How do I get it on my timeline? Double click, and now I have my sequence on my timeline, and it's empty, so it's not going to mess with your summer scholars, okay?